Hi there, I'm Marina Long, Circulation Associate here at the Logos Library. Today, I'm going to be giving you a tour of our building, as well as showing you different tools and resources that you can use. As I'm walking, you will see this appear on your screen. This is a map of the floor that we'll be on, plus the path that I'll be taking so that you can better orient yourself as I'm giving the tour. Let's get started. When you first walk into the Logos Library, you will see the circulation desk. Our friendly librarians and student workers are always happy to help you with your library needs, whether it's locating a book, assistance with printing, or getting a key for one of the study rooms upstairs. Over here, we have our open seating area. This is the most versatile part of the library, as this is open for anybody to use, whether you need to get some studying done or just sit down and read. Over here in front of the elevators are the bathrooms and the water fountain. Having those locations memorized will help you as you're becoming more of a frequent patron. Down this hallway, we have the large instruction lab. This is room 131, otherwise known as the large instruction lab. You can come in here to get some studying done as well, but this is mostly used for classroom instruction or for taking exams. Tucked in at the end of this hallway is our quiet reading room. If you need to get some isolated studying done, this is the place. We also house our periodicals on the shelves over here for research purposes or just to read for fun. Just make sure that if you do use one of the journals, to put it in the basket by the window so we know to keep ordering that journal. In here is our family room, where we house our juvenile collection. Bring your family in here to get some picture books, chapter books, nonfiction books, and graphic novels. Over to my left is a monthly display that we also have in the family room. This month is Make a Splash as You Dive into Reading, books all about water. Speaking of displays, our librarians and student workers love to read. Over on this shelf and the shelf over there, we have our monthly displays where we give you our recommendations. This month we have Ready to Read Seriously and Have Some Fact with Your Fiction. Make sure to keep an eye on these shelves at the beginning of each month so that you can have fresh recommendations. Over here is South Lobby, where we house a lot of our computers that you can use if you have a union email address. Right here, we have one of 5 printers in the Logos Library. This printer is a paw print printer, which means that you can print directly from your laptop right over here. And here we have our online interview studio. This is a special feature that you can use as a union student so you can practice for interviews. Down this hallway, we have our open printing room and our small instruction lab. This is open printing. What's nice about this room is you have lots of tools to handle your paperwork. We have a paper cutting machine, pencil sharpener, 3-hole punch, and a stapler. Exciting. We also have another printer, also paw print compatible. This is where the small instruction lab is, otherwise known as room 110. In the same hallway, we have our lovely vending machines, our best friends for late night studying. Another one of our best friends is Madero, our coffee shop here in the Logos Library. Unfortunately, it is closed right now, but you can check their hours using this link or looking at their Instagram page. The final room on the first floor is the Technology Learning Center, otherwise known as the TLC. This is where we house a lot of our computers, and this is where we house printer number 3. This is the one printer that is not paw print compatible, but you can print directly from the TLC computers right over here. Over here we have one of 2 color printers on the entire campus. This is also paw print compatible, and it also costs a little extra for your prints to get color pages. Let's head over to the elevator so I can show you floor 2. Welcome to the second floor. Right across the elevators on the second floor are also the bathrooms and the water fountains. Down this hallway, we have the 5th and final paw print printer, as well as some carols for some isolated studying. And here, we have a nice quiet study room. What's nice about this is it has a very big whiteboard and a good view of the parking lot. It's okay, we could just... I'll just go down. Over to my left is another open seating area. This is the open seating area on the second floor. Now it's time to get into the most important part of the library. The books. If you've ever checked out a book from the library before, you'll notice that there is this little label on the spine called a call number. That call number helps you identify what subject that book belongs to. Here at the Logos Library, we use the Library of Congress classification system, which sorts books by alphabetized categories. If you don't already know the Library of Congress system, we have a chart right here, just for you. You can use this to navigate our shelves, or you can use our website at this link here in order to find the exact book that you need. We're gonna start here in the reference section. Take note that there are also carols down this hallway. The reference section is where you're going to find your encyclopedias, your dictionaries, your atlases, those types of reference books. Be mindful that these books cannot leave the library, but you can use them in-house. This section of books, A to B, is where you'll find your philosophy, your biblical studies, those types of subject areas. This is a very popular section at this school. I wonder why. This area is C through H, which is history, geography, social sciences, those types of subject matters. What's nice about these shelves is that they are movable. Very compact. This middle section of books ranges from J all the way to P. This is where you'll find your political books, education, music, art, film, and language, a very wide range. Occasionally, we will have a staff member sitting at this desk, so if you need help finding a book in that wide range, you can feel free to ask them here. Our final section is the PN through Z section of our main stacks. This is where you'll find a lot of your literature books, as well as photography, library science, the sciences, those types. Also take note that this is our final section of carols. One thing to know about these movable shelves is that they are very easy to use, but they are also very easy to break. Please make sure that if you are using these shelves, that you're using them correctly. We don't want to have to send somebody out to fix them. And here we have another reading room. This reading room has a little bit more seating, and there are also some books in here for faculty development. What you'll notice about these books is that on the call number, it'll begin with FAC. Over here, we have our DVDs, which you can use for a nice little dorm movie night. What you need to keep in mind about DVDs is that if you had them out later than the due date, the fines are larger. So for books, it's 25 cents a day. DVDs, it's $1. Please turn them in on time. For your sake. Right next to the DVDs, we have our oversized books, which is where we have a lot of art books due to the large illustrations. Over here we have CDs and some audiobooks. Finally, we have our recreational reading section. These are the books that you read when you're supposed to be studying, but you instead want to go to a fantasy world. Over here we have our new books, which we will update whenever we get new recreational reads. Recreational reads on their call numbers will say REC, so take note of that. We also have these little posters so you can contact us and get help from a research coach. Over here, we have an entire shelf of our new books. You'll notice that on these call numbers, they have stickers with the date on them, which tells you when they were put on the shelf. This one was put here just this week. Cool. Our last area is our bound periodicals. Similar to the periodicals that we saw in the reading room downstairs, these ones are all in book form. We also have some archives books in this section, but again, we can't take those out of the library, but you can use them in the library. Take note that the bound periodicals room is open Monday through Friday from 8 o'clock to 4:30. Let's go see the third floor. And we're on the third floor. Over to the left of the elevators, you will see our recording studio. This is where you can record creative projects such as voiceovers, audio clips, podcasts. What we don't want you recording is anything with musical instruments or singing. That's for the people over in Jennings. Musical instruments makes too much noise up here. Speaking of noise, make sure you're mindful when you're in this studio because it is right next to the bathrooms. You don't want people overhearing embarrassing conversations. Over here, we have some more carols. And here is my favorite. This is the archives room. This used to be limited to being open from 8 o'clock to 4:30, similar to the bound periodicals room. However, the archives have actually been moved to a separate location, making this open for as long as the library is open. This is my favorite spot. I like to come here for studying and to get a good view of the outside. Oh wait, the tour. Yeah, okay. Over here, we have the media viewing room, also known as room 324, which is helpful to know if you're booking online. In here, we have a TV and DVD player so that you and your friends or your classmates can view movies together without having to go to each other's dorms. This is where the provost lives. And here is an outer study room. What's nice about these rooms is that there are 2 whiteboards, so if you have a lot of notes and a lot of studying to do, you have plenty of room to do it. And here is a conference room. This conference room is used for Board of Trustees meetings. However, if there's nobody in here, you are free to use it. You can stand up in the front, practice your public speaking skills, and prepare for a presentation for your class. Do be mindful that this room does not always get our announcements when we have to close, so just be paying attention to your watch when you're studying in here. This is the other outer study room. This is where the president lives, president of the university. We've made a very big circle. And at last, we have open seating on the 3rd floor as well as our inner ring of study rooms. Starting from room 353, the room numbers go up to 359. You don't necessarily need to memorize the room numbers, but if you have a specific room you like, knowing the number will make online booking easier. And that's the end of our tour. Wait, why? Wait. You want to see the dome, don't you? Unfortunately, you can't see the dome unless you have permission from the president of the university himself, but you could bribe him with bow ties and/or Madero. Do not tell him I said that. Thank you for joining me on this tour of the Logos Library. We hope that this video was helpful for you as you plan for your upcoming visit. If you have questions or you need to talk to a library staff, visit uu.edu/library or come by the circulation desk here on campus. Happy studying!